If you want to see how to make this perfect jollof rice that is not soggy and is really delicious and tasty with less burning, that saves your rice and saves your pots, then this is the video for you to watch. Here are some of the ingredients I'll be using to make this jollof rice. I'll show you the rest as we go along in the cooking process, and you can find them in the description box below. So here I have tomatoes. I have about 7, and I have this tomato paste to go along with it. I also have red bell peppers, 2 onions. I have some garlic and ginger. For me, garlic and ginger are super necessary combo for any tasty and delicious jollof rice. Guys, you don't want to miss this out. And also they have lots of benefits that helps with improved digestion, so guys, don't miss that out. I also have some bay leaves here. I'm not so much a fan of bay leaves because I feel they make food somewhat bitter when you had too much of them, so I'll just be using a little bit of this, not using everything. And I have nutmeg. I have some nutmegs that I'll be grating into my jollof rice later. I have my thyme, and I have curry powder, salt, and another seasoning I like so much in jollof rice is this rosemary leaves. They are really so good, so if you can get your hands on this, it'll be good. If not, you can just skip it. I blended all of the red bell pepper, the tomatoes. I left 1 onion, but these are 2 separate tomatoes from the ones I had earlier, and I added some scotch bonnet pepper, which I forgot to show you earlier. Added 3 scotch bonnet pepper. This pepper mix will be used to cook my jollof rice, and also the stew to season my goat meat, which I have already boiled and air fried. I have different methods for cooking jollof rice, and I realized that this method saves me a lot of burning. So what I've done is to put the oil in the pots, added the onions, allowed to fry for a bit before I added the pepper mix and also some goat meat stock to rinse off the bowl. Then I covered for some minutes. After leaving for some minutes, I'm going to add about half of this tin size to the boiling pepper. You can decide to fry these before you add your onions, or add it with the onions, whatever method you want to do. Now I'm going to add some of the goat's meat stock that I have. If you want, you can add a lot of it, but I added in stages. So now I've left it to boil for some minutes, and you can see that some of the oil is already gathering on the surface. So I'm just stirring to ensure that there are no lumps of tomato paste hanging around. Now I'm going to go in with my thyme seasoning. I'm adding 2 tablespoons of that, and also the curry seasoning. This method involves me cooking the stew separately and then frying the rice in another pot, which I'm going to show you later. So for now, I'm going to add my cube seasoning. I usually like to add whatever seasoning and salt I'm going to add after I've added the meat stock, because that is already seasoned and I don't want to overload my cooking. So I'm adding some salt, which I'm also going to taste later for any necessary adjustments. I'm adding some rosemary leaves at this point. Stir, and I'll leave to cook for a while uncovered. As that is cooking, I have another pot set on the cooker, and I have 3 spoons of butter here. I'll let that melt a bit, and I'll add the onions. So I like to add onions at different stages of my jollof rice. Like, onions have a lot of spice. You add lots of spice with jollof rice. So notice here that I'm not using oil again. For me, I don't like when jollof rice has too much oil. Like, it just settles at the lower part of it and doesn't come out nice. So I've washed raw rice. This is raw rice I've washed. I washed about 4 cups of rice, and I'm stirring in the butter and onion. So stir for about 2-3 minutes, and I'm trying to ensure that it doesn't burn. That's why I am stirring on all sides. And at this stage, this is what our stew looks like. So we have lots of oil settled on the surface. And at this point, I'm going to scoop some to add to my rice here. Here I am frying on medium heat, and I'm turning to ensure that it doesn't burn. Now I'll go in with my nutmeg. I decided not to add this in the stew because I don't want the taste in the stew. I want it in the rice because eventually I'm going to be leaving some out for the meat. So add that in and mix well. So I'll scoop out some of these into the rice. I'm just going to do that in stages to ensure that I have the amount that I need. So scoop out as much as I need in stages, and also not forget some of the oil from the surface. I don't like to add too much oil to jollof rice because they end up settling underneath the plate, the pot, and so much oil is not necessary. Actually, it's not healthy. So reduce the fat intake, and I'm just going to mix to ensure that the pepper is well combined to my satisfaction and I have the color that I want. So now I'm adding more. So I prefer to add more sauce to adding more water to cook the jollof rice because this makes it more tasty. And guys, you need to use a non-sticky pan for this jollof rice so it doesn't burn so much. That's why I'm able to stir anyhow. And at this point, I'm going to add some of the bay leaves. I'm not using everything I displayed in the plate, just like I said earlier. I've just used some of it, and I didn't add to the stew for the same reason I didn't add the nutmeg. I don't want the taste of bay leaf in my stew. So just for the jollof rice, I'm adding more sauce because really we need enough to cover the rice, just a little bit, like slightly above it. So the liquid and the sauce content should just be a bit above your rice, but I like to add it in stages. And so I'm adding the water on all the sides so they can go deep down, and also prevents burning. So the water we have here is not enough yet. I'll add in some later, but for now I'm just going to cover with foil to seal in the heat because that is what we need to cook the jollof rice. Cover and seal on all sides. Jollof rice for me requires a lot of monitoring, so you don't want to go away from it. You're just going to check to see if it is soft enough, and right now the water seems dried off, but I don't just add water, you have to check first. And you can see on this side that it is not burning. I tasted and I added more salt and 1 cube seasoning. So I'm going to stir so that all the new seasoning can be well incorporated into the jollof rice. I'll cover this back with the foil and allow the heat finish cooking the rice. And guys, no matter how tempted you may be, don't add more water. Once you have the level of water slightly above the rice, just slightly, don't add more water. So almost around the time the rice is about to get done, I like to add some onions and tomato slices. Just like I told you, I love to have onions at different stages of my jollof rice. And as you can see, my pot still looks very clean and there's no burning. So I'll mix all of that to combine and steam. I usually don't like to have the tomato and onion slices totally cooked, so I'll just give like 2 or 3 minutes for everything to steam up. Cover this back, but if you want, you can leave more time to steam. And here, this is what I have. My jollof rice is not soggy. You don't have too much oil hanging around or sitting underneath the pot. And you can see I have little burning. I think the burning I have is just right at the center of the pot, but on all sides, like I'm zooming in now, you can see that there's little burning. So now we can serve our jollof rice with my goat meat that I have put in the stew. Looks so delicious, and you can see it's really well separated, not soggy or lumped together. You can also serve with some coleslaw And after serving, this is the little amount of boiling that I have, and my pot is so good to wash. I eventually ate some part of this burnt rice, and I hope you know that this is also the best part of jollof rice, the burnt part of it. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I do hope that you give this a try. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.